Oh, hello. I caught
Hello.
Nick right as he was eating some. What you eating there,
Yeah,
Nick?
Some rice crackers.
Oh, rice crackers. Okay.
Haji Norton?
I forget what they're called. I used to eat those all the time growing up.
Nice.
They're the best. They're the best. Favorite snack. What's your favorite snack lately, everybody?
That's a good question. Probably like fruit.
Okay. Any type of fruit in particular? Or just
I've been eating a lot of grapes.
okay. All right.
Grapes are good. Grapes are good.
Great boy.
My favorite snack, besides Mia.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
He's not actually sorry.
Never sorry. Lately, I've really liked uncooked ramen noodles, just like the crunchy.
Sure.
Because I'm just too lazy to cook him.
It takes.
I'll just open him up and I'll put the
4
powder
minutes.
on top of him. I know, but like
4 minutes, Dan.
that's 4
But
minutes.
I mean, uncooked ramen is pretty good, though.
Uncooked ramen is good.
It's a good stack.
Uncooked ramen.
You've never had it. You
I
break it
feel
in
like
half.
I have such a
Sports.
different feeling about uncooked ramen because you like it versus uncooked ramen because you're too lazy to cook it. Like,
Oh, that's fair. Yeah,
Those are different things. It's true.
yeah, you're right. You're right. That is.
It is. It's like it's a common like drinking snack in like Korea. I go there, they'll just open it up. The flavoring powder, you just put it on top. Wow,
That's pretty good, right?
No.
that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Is that the sound that? Yeah, that's like the exact sound that it makes.
Yeah. Uncooked ramen chewing around in your little mouth there.
Oh no.
okay.
Yeah, I think like jam lately. I've been kind
Jam.
Just eating
like-
jam? Just
Yeah,
spoons of jam?
of
Up the jam.
well, the toast is there, but like we're there for the jam.
It's a vehicle for jam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
I made some blueberry jam, which is the first time I've made jam,
Ooh.
and
Wow.
it was a lot of fun. And I don't know, it's really simple. If you should look into it, it's
Okay.
if you ever see fruit on sale, it's really just a
Yeah.
Is it similar to like making? Because I've never made jam, but I've made like cranberry sauce on like Thanksgiving.
you just keep
Is
cooking.
it kind of similar to that? You just keep cooking
Yeah.
it, right? Okay.
Yeah, it also, you have to look up the fruit and like if you need to add pectin. So like blueberry is one where you don't, because there's just a lot of pectin in blueberries naturally. So that's like the thickening agent in most natural jams. So yeah, no, you for the most part you just add sugar and cook it down for like a while, like hours.
Yeah.
And you boil a jar and fill it and seal it, and it slowly cools down. And it's cool if you have like one of those mason jars. It even pops down, like creates a
sure.
as it cools.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Creates a vacuum.
Do not cool it down in the fridge. If you cool it too fast, you can hurt yourself.
Probably it probably explodes. Yeah. We tried to do we tried to make kombucha, as I think many people did during COVID. And the first time we did it there were maggots on the mushroom.
Oh,
So we did not drink that. But the second time we did it, it exploded.
Sorry. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think
fermenting
a lot of people.
gases.
I feel like sanitizing the jar that you're making kombucha in is a huge part of the process, because when you're fermenting something, you want to make sure that you're working in like a clean environment. So that
I think we just didn't put the rubber band and the cheesecloth on tight enough. I think that's how it got it. Yeah. We're
little
not sure.
fellows got in there.
Little fellows got in there.
Gross.
Protein is really what we were just adding to kombucha.
Yeah.
No. Just to finish the jam story, my sister-in-law had kind of gotten me on it because her mom and her like do every year. They go to like the strawberry festival and they get a bunch of strawberries and then make strawberry jam, and they make so much of it that like she started like handing it out to us. So now I was just like, this is so delicious. And so I wanted to make my own.
During and like for a while following COVID, I haven't done it in probably a year, but I went on a kick where I was making bread like all the time. And that extended into me starting to go to the farmer's market and buy like farm fresh heavy cream and make my own butter with that.
Oh yeah.
And then so I was making my own bread and butter. And like if it had gone any longer, and I'm probably going to revisit it when we move, because we're moving into a house soon and I'm going to have a lot more space to do stuff in the kitchen. And a big part of the reason I stopped was because it just felt like there was the bread and the butter were taking over the whole kitchen. But once we move, I'm probably going to start making bread a bunch again, which will mean I'll start making butter again, which might extend it to me start to make jams too.
Yeah, for sure. I do sourdough, and yeah, I got work on that recipe though.
In a year, Johnny's gonna have his own wheat mill.
I was about to buy like because it's a lot cheaper to buy like whole grain flour that you need to like mill down yourself, and you can buy like the grinder extensions for like a KitchenAid. So like you're not wrong. Like
it's cheaper to buy a plot of land with its mill already on it than to buy a loaf of bread from the store.
Well, like I mean, like legitimate. Like part of the reason I started making bread was because we had this idea that it would be cheaper than buying bread, and it's really not when you get all of the ingredients and like you factor in everything. Just like most of the stuff you get at the grocery store, you're not saving money. But if you get like whole wheat flour or whole grain flour or whole grain wheat, and mill it down into flour yourself, you would save money.
Yeah, it is mostly even, but I did find that if you buy the like 25-pound Costco flour bag, it actually you can break it a little bit. Just a little bit.
That's true. If you also get enough other stuff at Costco to make paying for the membership worth it, which I would not.
I did not either, but I didn't have to pay. Shit, just
that's
a friend of Danny's and I let me come.
Someone else.
Gotcha.
Membership there.
Did playing RuneScape make anyone else really want to learn how to make bread?
Yes.
I never played RuneScape.
I haven't played RuneScape since I was like 13, and that was way too long ago for me to even like have feelings connected to it anymore.
I have some core RuneScape memories.
Revisited it many times. Can be honest.
Well, I do often think about just starting my own subsistence farm and going completely off grid and being like 100% independent, and then I think like I'll get Giardia once and give up on that.
I do think about it a lot too. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure there's still despite the rise and advance in technology, I'm sure there's quite a lot of villages that also struggle with their quaint ways of life and make bread and get diseases and die. None the wiser of the greater world.
Wow.
That was really morbid. I don't know. You ever start a sentence and you're like, where is this going? And then you get to the end and you're like, oh, wow.
There's only one direction this can go.
Yeah, I shouldn't have gone there.
I should have started that.
Yeah. You're waiting for your friend to get to the punchline and it just keeps getting sadder and sadder.
I think the
our
punchline
smiles
is
slowly fade.
The punchline is how sad it is. You're in a city not too different from that. You're in Derbyshire, a small city on the border of King Arthur's realm and King Lot, which I said, I think in the last episode, is in Norway. I don't think England and Norway have a border, but in this world they do.
Here they do.
So I think I realized that about 30 minutes after I said Norway. I was like, well,
England on an island famously borders very few nations.
Famously an island.
We pulled a Kyoshi and just moved England right.
Exactly. You were tasked, you're recently appointed Knights of the Round Table, tasked by Arthur to head to Derbyshire and investigate a mysterious black lightning that was appearing near the city. You got to the town, you found another of King Arthur's nephews, Mordred, as well there. little sloshed, and interrogated the townspeople a little bit to find out that the Black Lightning seems to appear every evening at 9 p.m. They've sent scouts into the sleeping forest to investigate, and none have returned. And as you're about to make your way out, you hear a scream and see standing over a dead body a goblin, a fey creature called a goblin in a power suit as well, accompanied by two, they look like ravenous, like wolves, but much more magical looking. I don't know. I'm literally looking at the like bestiary right now, and it's like right next to direwolf. I think you know what it looks probably more like. It probably looks more werewolfy, like longer and gaunter. Right, a dire wolf is just like a giant wolf, but this fey beast is more like longer and gaunt, and like the limbs are almost human like. It's very unsettling.
Like they're still on all fours, but like their two front limbs
Yes.
like look more like arms.
Yes, exactly. It's very unsettling in that regard. Before we get in combat, I'd also like to note too that you see that the power suit that the goblin is wearing appears to have a creature inside of a little contraption in the center. Kind of looks like a pixie.
Power source, perhaps.
And with that, I think we have to have a combat.
Yeah.
There is health, so let's see how this goes. There's a chance you might die.
Sir Gawain, I think, steps forward, gripping the hilt of one of his swords, and I think he like wears two, like you guys, like he wears two swords on the same side, kind of like you know, you would see some European knights with that, but like it looks more similar to like the way samurais would wear their swords, and he steps forward with his hand on one hilt, and Goblin, I demand you face me in single combat.
I feel like I need a roll.
Okay.
As you're rolling, Sir Quintus pulls just literally a hilt from his belt. It was just like if you had seen it in other scenes, it's just standing there. It doesn't look like anything's holding it, but he pulls it off and then sort of stabs it into his shoulder. And as he pulls it out, pieces of his armor, like not like nanotech, but like plates of metal, fold into it, and he pulls out a great sword.
That's cool.
Incredible.
Am I adding? Oh, I guess all of my traits are 0, so it doesn't matter. So I got a 9.
Okay. With a 9, the goblin will look at you, and a smirk will appear on its face, and it will say, "Fine, I won't attack your friends, but can't say the same thing for my friends." And the dogs start, the fey beasts start charging at Sir Quintus and Sir Carries, like flanking around you as you and this goblin now stare each other down for a duel.
Okay. As we look at each other, I draw katana that looks like a standard metal katana, but then the blade starts to melt down over the hilt and cover my skin. And as like so it looks, it's not actually it's like this Magitech like nanotech horde of thing, but it's not quite nanotech. But the my power armor fits really tightly. Like it does not look like I don't look different in size really with my power armor on. And this metal kind of just like melts across and coats my skin. And as that's happening, red beam comes out of the hilt of the katana and replaces the metal that melted away.
That's dope. That's pretty dope. Also, I love, one of my favorite things about like this sort of genre is I love the difference in sizes of like armor and mech suits and power armor. So it's really cool that you're like not that bigger, right? Like you just look like Sir Gawain. You're just a little more enhanced. It's very cool.
Yeah.
That's very, very cool. All right, what do y'all do?
Karis. And like Quintus will sort of like form ranks with Karis. And I'll let the dogs come.
Okay.
And when they're in range, I will attempt to.
What do you do? Yeah, they do.
Just cleave through both of them if I can, but probably just one of them.
You can get one of them.
Right.
Definitely get one of them.
So
because they're sort of you're back to back. They're coming around the side, and one's jumping at you, and one's jumping at Sarkarius, essentially.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll swing as hard as I can. Sort of like, so he pulled it out of his shoulder, but he keeps it really high, like over his head. And then as it comes through, he actually swings down wide to his left, but then swings up as it tries to jump at him to try to like deflect it as much as possible.
Feels like a forceful roll.
10.
Okay,
Ooh.
10. Yeah, I mean, I think that they don't. You do this, and it doesn't get a chance to attack at all. I would like. What's your damage? Give me that damage roll.
Well, with the greatsword, it's 2d6.
Oof.
That's only 4 damage.
Okay, only hey. That's 4 damage. It's 4 damage.
I don't know the dice.
I would like to know before we move to the duel, Sarkarius. What do you do?
Yeah, so Sarkarius, he positions both his hands in like closed fists in front of him, almost like he's holding a hilt, and then both his hands kind of form like into a hilt as just an iron sword emerges from the top. And Sarkarius's method of attack is a lot more defensive than offensive. I think he'll wait for the other Fey dog to sort of make its pounce on him.
I mean, it is.
Yeah. And
it is.
Just sort of he barely even like lunges. He more so tries to let the dog use
just
its
fall
momentum,
on your blade.
just fall
yeah,
into the blade
impale
as much
itself.
as he
Yeah.
can.
Sure.
Yeah.
That might not even be forceful then. What stat do you think here?
I feel like tactical or reflexive.
Oh, I think tactical makes sense.
Okay.
I like tactical.
I like you, Justin.
Oh, I wish I was a stat in a TTRPG.
I got an 8.
An 8. Okay. Here is what is going to happen. I would like for you to roll 3d6. Keep the lower of the 2.
Me?
Yes, please.
All right. 1.
The lower of the 2. So the 2
lowest.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, so 5.
5 total.
Yeah,
Okay.
total. Yeah.
I would like for you to roll your damage now, and then I will tell you what happens.
Okay. So damage, I believe, is just a d6. 6 though.
A 6. So, it does not do 6 damage because as you like wait for this thing to jump at you and to like poke it essentially with your sword, it phases out of reality.
Oh.
And passes through you. And I would like for you to take 3 damage. And it took
the blink dogs.
It took half of the damage that you sent.
Everybody time out. I have an ability to use. Stand guard. When an ally near you is hit by an attack.
Yes.
You can roll to parry the blow. If you succeed, no one takes damage. On a partial success, you take damage. If you fail, the original target of the attack is hit.
Okay, tell me what you roll.
So,
tell me what stat you think.
Yeah, I think it's forceful because he's gonna do the uppercut. So I think that hit the one he was fighting and kind of like knocked it away from him. And then he just, because he sees like out of the corner of his eye the blink dog like blink through Cercarius.
Yep.
And so he just continues the raising strike over his head and then downwards onto the dog. Not like, obviously I'm not attacking him, but just to like push it away to parry it. So yeah.
So the phasing part has happened. So you can't really hit it while it's phasing.
No, it's you said it reappeared on the other side of Karis.
Well, going through him is what deals the damage.
Oh, okay. Well, then
phasing through him.
Same thing, but I try to hit it as I see it, you know. Or
okay,
I don't
like
know,
before
maybe
it does that. Before it does that.
Yeah.
I'm gotcha. Sure. Perfect.
My apologies. Sorry, I thought it phased through and then attacked him, but
no.
All right. 11.
Okay, so I think does not take damage. Is that
no
right?
No one takes damage.
No one takes any damage. So do not take the 3 damage. It will though take the 3 damage. It's still phased, so it just took half damage, but it will not do any damage to Cercarius. And with that, I think we need to turn to the duel as Sir Gawain and this goblin are facing off. Sir Gawain, what do you do?
Yeah, so Sir Gawain does not go in for the first strike. Like he waits for the goblin to come at him. But as soon as the goblin does, he will he tries to parry and start going for like vital points.
Okay. So you're in a pitched sword fight with this goblin. Give me a roll.
8.
Okay.
I keep looking to see what I add, and everything's 0, so I don't know why.
Everything is 0, so just straight rolls. On an 8, go ahead and deal your damage.
Okay. So that is 10.
10 damage.
Yep, because I add 5 to my damage roll because of all of the stuff I get from Duelist and the weapon I'm using.
Perfect. Incredible. Well, goblins only have 2 HP in this game. So that's a pretty decisive victory over this goblin. However, it is an 8, so there is a complication. And I think the complication is that, yes, you cut this goblin down, but in the fighting, you damage the power source that has the Fey Imp inside of it. And there is a loosing of energy from this Fey Imp as it is dying with this goblin. I would like for you to take 4 damage.
And how does armor interact with damage?
Just remove your armor from the damage.
Okay.
So less the armor.
Okay.
And there is a moment as this energy passes over you that your vision starts to turn red. And then you quickly regain your composure.
Okay.
But you see a dead goblin in a power suit with a dead Fey Imp next to you. So let's turn back to the beasts. Quintus, Karis, what are you doing?
I will attempt to finish off the one that I hit before that's still not phased. So another swing.
Yep.
12, but not double sixes, unfortunately.
Okay. Go ahead and give me that damage.
7.
Okay. With a decisive blow, you slice through this Fey beast. Its body cut in half. It just flops onto the ground. And it's almost like flickering in and out of reality still. And then it fully coalesces in this reality and just stops moving.
Gross.
Sir Caris.
Sir Caris will take his sword, his straight sword, and go to lunge at the beast that attacked him, letting out somewhere halfway between like what he tried to make a war cry, but also like a cry of terror, like ah, and just lunge at the Doge. So I feel like forceful makes the most sense here.
Yes, it does.
Ooh, that is a 11 though.
Okay, give me that damage then.
2 damage.
2 damage. This beast is still alive.
He's still up. Oh, no.
But you are fast enough that I think it does not get a chance to phase through you. And it is at this point that the door to the stable gets kicked open, and Mordred goes, "I've got it!" and runs in, a little drunk still, but takes out his sword and slashes through this fey beast and kills it. And that's combat.
That's clean. I like that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Yes. Sorry, I
Quintus just walks away from him. Gawain, that was an incredible attack.
Oh, it was practice and all that. Just
I mean,
spend enough time.
Cut him down in one blow.
I suppose. Thank you. You comported yourself handily as well.
Did a lot of combat training and all that. That's you're saying.
Yeah. Quite. As we're talking to, I think like Gawain's like helmet, like I think when you picture him in his armor, like picture like a medieval looking version of Spider-Man in the MCU in the advanced armor that Tony made for him, that like the nanotech armor. Except it's got like a gambesson and everything as part of it. And so when you're talking to him, when he wants his head out, instead of like just a visor going back, like the whole head like retracts, and so his head is just out of the armor.
Dope.
With some trouble, and with some visible trouble, if anyone notices, Sir Caris manages to retract his straight sword back into the recesses in his gauntlets where it came from. Sort of regains his composure and rejoins Quintus and Gawain.
Caris, do you have your weapons and armor serviced?
I'm sorry?
Do your weapons and armor need to be serviced?
Perhaps, but I managed to hold my own there.
Yes.
Well, I'm not trying to besmirch your quality. I'm just saying I noticed some trouble you seem to have with them and wanted to make sure everything is in top shape.
I think I just need a bit more practice, as you said,
Sure. For the rest of this excursion, we'll do drills in the mornings.
Thank you.
Of course. So, what do we think these were doing here? Was this related to the lightning?
No, it's got to be related to the lightning. And if there's creatures as terrible as this, I will come with you.
Brother, you have your own things to attend to. Needn't you go and make your report to the king?
Oh, pish posh. He'll hear it eventually. I'm happy to help you.
If you don't tell him, how will he hear it?
Well, I'll hear it eventually.
Brother, I must insist.
Look, I can't let these creatures attack this town. What sort of knight would I be then?
You're not. The 3 knights of the Round Table before you protecting the town, will you go and complete your duty?
if Karis knew about his ability, it'd be so easy just to pop in a door and say, "Hey, Arthur."
I want to make like. Is there something that's similar to an insight check in this game? I'm so like, what is Mordred up to right now?
I mean, sure, if you can. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a roll. If you're telling me like I'm suspicious of him.
Yeah, I'm suspicious of him.
Tactical would make sense, or
yeah.
Tactical,
I mean, it doesn't matter. It's all 0, so
it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's rolling.
It's a 7.
Okay. You're suspicious of him. You have no need to be. Mordred does not have the most knightly composure. But he's never betrayed King Arthur.
Yeah.
He has never let down his duty. So if he's telling you that like my report on whatever I found can wait, I can certainly help you with this mission. There's nothing he's trying to keep from you.
Okay.
What is the complication or cost? He stabs you. No. How dare you say that about me? I'll just say no. There's no complications.
I think there's a moment where when Karis sees this interaction between Gawain and Mordred, he considers using his abilities of mental manipulation that he's used in the past.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he wants to observe for a little longer to see if it's definitely necessary. Because I think Karis also thinks that Mordred can only help with their expedition into the Sleeping Forest. With him being there.
Mordred would be like, no, please. The king is trusting of me. I will get the report to him. But if there's an immediate threat now, it is my duty as a knight. It is our duty as Knights of the Round Table to address it. Lot will not make a move in the time that it takes for me to help you.
Brother, I trust you. I do. It is our first outing as full knights. We want to prove ourselves, but if you insist, you may come.
Well,
I promise I will not stand in your way. And Arthur will know the good deeds that you do these days.
And it doesn't. I mean, Merlin did say that we were facing certain doom in the Sleeping Forest, so
why not kill 4 knights of the table instead of simply 3?
We're all going to make it, of course. So Mordred, we appreciate your assistance, of course. And I suppose, there wasn't really anything to report to the king. Anyway, since
report of no report is exactly not as useful. So
nothing had happened yet. So let us. You should probably dispose of this and then head to the forest.
Do we want to wait until? Since they say it does not happen till evening.
Yes, we have time. I suppose.
Yes, and also it apparently happens over the middle of the wood, which might take us time to traverse to.
Good point. Yes,
it's true. I think anyone who looks can see like Gawain is trying to put on like a good face, but he definitely has that look. If you've ever seen like a younger brother who like wants to impress their older brother and feels like they're not getting like the chance to, like he's got that kind of a look.
Yeah, so we clear out the goblin. Is there like any indication of where it came from? Like it came through a power suit where there are like tracks?
Yeah, I mean you could follow the tracks, and the tracks take you exactly where you are planning to go.
Figured. Well, it looks like these things are connected.
Into the wood,
I suppose.
I think we should. And I feel I may be repeating myself. I can't remember if I've said this already. We should leave our mounts here. Easier to go on foot in the woods.
As you're saying that, Karis was in the process of unplugging Marigold, his horse, and he goes, "All right," and just plugs her back in. "Wait here, Marigold. I know that you don't have any form of consciousness and can't understand me, but wait here."
That's a robot horse sound.
Sorry, I forgot to turn her off, and he turns What's after?
So, yeah, and as we like are entering the wood or like getting to the wood, Quintus goes up to Karis. Karis, that was some incredible bravery you showed in our combat. In the combat that we just had. Danny?
Sir Karis is sending King Arthur a message on his...
Oh. Sorry. I was taking some notes on things. I'm sorry, could you please repeat that?
I got you. Sir Karis.
Diary.
Today I killed a dog.
No, Karis is writing in his diary as he's walking.
Sir Karis. Sorry. Sorry to...
No, sorry. It's rude of me to
interrupt you. I just wanted to say I thought you showed great bravery in the fight that we just had.
There's no need for undue flattery, Quintus. You and Gawain surely were the ones who showed the true feats of knighthood and strength in that combat. I was just lucky to be by your side.
Pish posh, you did not retreat, man.
Mm-hmm. What do you think courage is, Karis?
I think Gawain showed a fine example of that. Standing straight and upfront and challenging a known enemy to combat.
So it's bluster and challenge and being able to carry yourself.
I don't know that I blustered, but
no, you did not. I apologize. My point is, courage isn't the absence of fear. It is action despite it. And the quality of your action speaks loudly.
I appreciate your words, Quintus, but I think when the time comes where the fear is so mighty that we're incapable of action, that's when we feel incapable of action, that's when the true test will come, yes?
As it always does. But you are Knight of the Round. You will meet that challenge.
Akira sort of nods his head and dives back into his diary. Dear diary, I'm so scared.
As you traverse through the sleeping forest, and as night starts to, the sun sets and night starts to take, you hear constantly, it's just like whispering over the forest. It's very, very unsettling. And the more you continue, the louder it gets. But it's not loud in the sense of like waking you up. It's almost doing the exact opposite, as these things feel like they're like lulling you to sleep. And I would like for each of you to describe what you do to hold on to your consciousness. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Close your eyes. We can't harm you. No harm will come to you. Take a rest. You must be so tired. It's just that, just over and over and over again.
Oh.
I think Quintus. I think Quintus really like holds on to. He like goes back to like being a child and like huddling in the corner of his home, his family's home, with like his parents, and like the sleepless nights that he had, and just like stays there, and the voices can't reach him.
Okay. What about the rest of you?
What was the question?
Basically, how do you resist the magic of the forest?
Yeah, so like as you continue through I was reading your message to us in the private chat. As you continue through the forest, like as the sun starts to set, there are a bunch of like whisperings and voices, and the further into the center of the forest that you travel, the louder they get. But instead of keeping you like alert and concerned, it's lulling you to sleep.
I think I just jump into Mordred's arms and go to sleep. Let him carry me. Kidding.
Oh, brother. Hold me, brother.
No, I will say for the audience too, because I think we should make this adjustment. It was bothering me because I knew I was wrong about something with the lore. Mordred is Arthur's son, not nephew. He's not Gwain's brother. They're cousins. Anyway, I think Gwain, like, I think actually probably Mordred being there is a big thing that helps Gwain kind of fight through and like feeling a sense of like needing to impress this person that he looks up to in a lot of ways. And like everything Gwain has done in his life has been to be like Mordred and Arthur.
Yeah. Sir Carius.
Yeah, I think Sir Carius is he's used to kind of having to try to stay awake despite being incredibly tired, and like the more, sketchy parts of Camelot. And so he has various methods. I think like you see him like fiddling with like a gold piece. And maybe he reverts back to his diary, but I think he's because he comes from a past where if you fall asleep, then he could be taken or robbed, you know.
Okay. Like
also
like a
cocaine.
roll then. I would like a roll from all of you. Johnny made a cocaine joke.
Oh, that's what I thought I heard. I was like,
I would like a roll. Add whatever attribute you think is appropriate.
Should I use 0, 0, 0, or 0?
Could you actually use 0?
Okay.
Quintus, Mordred, and Gawain are like trying their like best to stay awake, whereas Carius is just ripping lines as he's walking.
I rolled a 10.
Okay.
I really thought I was going to roll low on that one, so I'm glad I didn't.
Don't forget your war dice. You can always add those before. But
I rolled 2 5s, and so I was between reflexive and tactical, but 2 5s wouldn't matter regardless of what I choose because 1 + 1, 1's 0.
Okie dokie. So Quintus.
Sorry, what?
World doing a great job of paying attention.
Y'all, what was going on?
I was writing about my character when it happened to me.
I just straight up zoned out. I had nothing going on.
That's right. give me a roll and whatever
gonna say-
attribute you think is appropriate for how you described him trying to stay awake and not succumb to the magic of the forest.
Yeah, Nick looked like he was succumbing to the magic of the forest
I
himself.
was. Nick
Maybe I'll
was.
just-
Quentin's
yeah,
just trying to
maybe,
resist.
Maybe you don't get a roll. Maybe you just.
That's a 7 for creative. I rolled with creative.
Okay. So with a success, but a complication, I think the complication is that you're awake, you're conscious, but it's foggy and it's clouded and you're moving slower than you normally are. As long as you are in the sleeping forest, your armor is 1 less. It's just not as effective because you just can't respond correctly enough to block, attacks.
What's Quintus's armor normally?
1.
Oh, that's what I thought.
That's 0.
Oh no.
What is Karis's?
1.
It's the normal start and set.
Yep. Wonderful. But eventually you make your way to the center of the forest. Right around. And roll to see if you get there right at 9. No, it's right around that time. And in the center of the forest is a dark castle. It does not look like anyone is living here, though.
Sorry, you said what castle? Like
a dark castle.
Dark.
A dank, dark castle.
Just the dankest castle you've ever visited.
Smoke
That
is rising out
dang
of it.
castle. It's just
That's dank.
it's pretty dank.
It smells pretty loud out here.
But it very much appears abandoned from when you look upon it.
That's definitely it, right? There's no.
So black lightning comes upon an abandoned castle. It's clearly sorcery of some sort.
That's a question I wanted to ask the children, actually. I wanted to ask them if the lightning seemed to be coming from the sky or emitting from the epicenter of the forest.
As we all know, lightning comes from the ground up. It's when electrons fall from the sky, and then
I didn't know that.
Yes, it's elementary.
Yeah. Unless it's passing between clouds in the sky, and then
True.
it's a little bit different.
Yes.
But yes.
Well, I mean, it's also black lightning, so it doesn't function like normal lightning. Also, that's another question I had. How were they able to see it?
That's a good point.
Or did they just hear the lightning and they couldn't see it, so they just assumed?
You don't hear lightning, dear boy. You hear thunder. Caused by lightning.
Oh. Interesting. So the sound is a different name than the actual visual thing that you see.
It's pretty confusing. But they are 2 different.
All right.
Let's go back now and ask the children all these questions.
I mean, if we find a door, curious doesn't
You
know
just still don't know.
I mean, to be fair, there's a castle right here. I think there are probably doors.
Yes.
So,
why would you want a door? No. let's investigate.
yes.
Perhaps we will see this lightning for ourselves.
Do you want to go and explore the castle before the lightning comes and see if there's anything to be seen before, during, and after the storm?
I'd rather not be out in case it is some sort of weapon. I'd rather be inside when the lightning
Quiet.
comes.
Inside the castle. Yes.
Well,
Correct.
let's make our way inside.
You get up to the door, and it is locked.
I jam my sword into the lock.
Oh, wait, can I interrupt you, Mr. Gowan? I might be of some use here.
Sword out. Of course.
And with a smile and nod, Karis kind of respectfully steps in front of Gawain and will Gawain, and will hold his index finger in front of the lock as it sort of like extends and like rotates, and these like cool futuristic techie lockpick things come out.
Good description, Danny.
Yeah.
If you all could see Sir Carrie's eyes, like they turn completely white as this thing comes out. And your vision sort of shunts into the keyhole as you can see the pins that you need to hit.
And he's sort of like, his mouth is sort of like agape, and he's sort of just like looking up. And
mid-90s modem sounds are coming out of his mouth.
Yeah, exactly. And every now and then there's like a slight twitch in his face as he's
Quintus does the whole like hand in front of the face wave thing.
Yeah. How advanced is this lock? Is it pretty new, or does it seem like it's of old make?
What a good question.
That's an interesting question, considering the condition of the castle. If it's a new lock, it brings up some other questions.
No, it is not a new lock.
Yeah, as his eyes are right, he says, the lock seems to be very old. So we'll see what I can do here. And
those trees seem to be made of wood.
So it works every time, but there's always an inconvenient downside, which is what you already said. I can't see.
And then in this case, there's no danger. So the downside is not that down.
Negligible.
When the door opens, though, you open it to a room that has lights on. Looks clean. Looks taken care of. And there is a person standing at the door. They are wearing very like regal clothing. They look like they are dressed as a king.
I guess despite the looks of the castle, we could have.
None of you recognize them.
We apologize, sir. We thought this castle was abandoned.
We are knights of Arthur's Round Table. May we call upon your hospitality?
Yes, of course. You may call me King Lane. It's a pleasure to meet you.
King Lane?
Yes. There are various vassals of the realm. I consider this area mine. Please, though, come in.
So you don't bow to Arthur?
Who is Arthur?
I kind of just give a look to the other knights.
Yeah, Quintus is already like obvious like surprise and confusion.
Arthur's the High King of Albion.
I would be lying if I said I don't quite understand the words that are coming out of your mouth, but I'm more than happy to invite such knights as yourself to take a rest here.
Are you, as we walk in, are you familiar with Uther Pendrag?
Uther Pendrag. That sounds more familiar. He was that young tyke, yes?
He is long dead, sir. He was
long dead.
Our liege lord's messiah.
Interesting. Well, I've been here in this castle with my contingent for I don't know how long. Very long time. Someone told us it was important to guard the castle.
Of course. Forgive I questioned you rudely just upon entering your manor. My apologies.
Apology accepted.
Your Majesty.
Yes?
Since this person told you of the importance of protecting the castle, are we the first individuals to come through since then?
You're the first to have been invited into the castle. We've had others that have tried to take over the castle that my knights and I have quickly dispatched.
No prisoners to... We are ourselves on a quest to find some shady characters. You didn't happen to capture any of them or keep them alive for questioning?
They would have claimed service to a king named Lot.
We do have some prisoners in our dungeons. You're welcome to interrogate them. May I ask what the four of you are doing here, though, before I let you have free access to our dungeons?
We are emissaries of King Arthur of Avalon, as mentioned. We are here investigating disturbances that have befallen the people of his realm.
Oh, interesting. Very interesting. I can't quite say I've seen any disasters befalling myself and my castle.
We, of course, mean you and yours no harm, if you mean us no ill. But we would greatly appreciate the ability to question your prisoners.
Of course, yes. Let me show you the way. And he leads you down to his dungeons. And as you are passing through the dungeons as well, too, you kind of pass by a room that looks like it goes down even further underneath the castle. And you can see kind of lights flickering out from behind this door. But you kind of keep walking past down the hallway towards where the actual dungeons and prisoners are. Yes, we've been here for, oh God, I've lost count. How long we've been here guarding this castle. I don't remember from what, though. Just remember it being important.
Do you remember the year when you came?
No, it wasn't last year. Why did I think it was last year? Doesn't make any sense. I must think more about this. This is our dungeons. I will be back upstairs, should you need any help with anything.
Thank you for your assistance, Your Majesty.
Yes, thank you.
About him.
Justin, as he was leading us to the dungeon, I'm sorry, I don't remember if you stated it explicitly or not, but did we see any other of his consort, like his band?
Yeah, yes, you would have heard other people walking around.
Did we see any of them?
Yeah.
And did they just look, how did they look? Just regular old folk?
Yeah, look like knights.
Can I make a roll or something, maybe like a tactical roll, to search my memory of my education as a royal? I'm sure I would know the history of the castles in the area.
Sure. Yeah,
I think back to when the last time something here was occupied.
Sure, I dig it. I dig it a lot.
It's a 5. I don't remember.
Yeah, you don't. Man. You don't. And in fact, it gets even worse. How does it get even worse?
There's never been a castle here.
What are castles?
I've never seen a castle. As a matter of fact, I don't think I've even heard the word.
Yeah, I think this is interesting. I think take with this what you will, run with this how you want. It's more like a role-playing complication than anything. But I think you 100% believe King Lane. You're not quite sure, like, is there some sort of like sorcery happening or curse happening? But either way, you're like, this dude totally on the level.
Okay. I like that.
Shall we look at these prisoners?
Yes. I'm hoping to find some of the villagers here.
Let's hope whatever spell has halted the effects of time on King Lane and his consort has also applied
Does
to his
it
prisoners.
look...
What leads you to believe time has been halted here? I think he's just a king who doesn't know whose lands he's sitting on.
I'm just openly voicing my theories. I'm sorry.
Well, I, for one, think he's completely on the level.
Well, I mean, he might be, but the curse might have confused him.
Curse?
Everything he says seems to be impossible. A curse. I don't know that there is one. Just that he seemed to know Uther Pendragon as a child, which would have been a very long time ago. Centuries. Very confusing response that we got from him. I wanted to ask Justin, how does it look inside? Like, we were outside, it was like dark, dank, abandoned looking.
Yep.
Everything
inside
is like,
it looks taken care of. Yep. Maybe old fashioned, but taken care of.
And there's no Magitech anywhere here.
What a good question. I will say no. I'll say no.
Knights equipped in traditional armor, like King Arthur. There's something anachronistic going on here. I don't know what. And if these people are victims as well, or what is going on.
So
Let
let's
us
definitely avoid Quintus. We should
see
keep our heads up.
Who these prisoners are.
The first cage that you come to has some knights, and maybe like they wouldn't be wearing the armor, but off to the side you can see that they've been stripped of their armor. It is power armor. It has lots sort of emblem on it.
Yeah, as we.
And they're sort of chained up, typical old school medieval fashioned to like the back of a wall.
Hello, gentlemen. Good evening.
Yeah, what the fuck do you want? Hey, who are you?
We are Knights of the Round. You are in the realm of Albion. It's to be expected to see a Knight of the Round. Not expected to see a Knight of Lot, though.
Yeah,
was our host not as hospitable to you? And I like gesture at their armor on the ground next to me.
We fell asleep investigating the forest. Found ourselves here. No, I wouldn't say he's been hospitable at all.
I think also, just so you know, I have my whole face is covered again.
Yep.
But I chime in. Why did Lot send you into these woods?
I'd like a roll to try and convince these people to talk.
8.
An 8. Well, you must know that there's a war happening. Or you two taken care of in Camelot. that the atrocities of war haven't hit you yet.
We wouldn't go about armored if not for war. Of course we know.
Good. Well, then there's power here. Lot sent us to get whatever it was.
I don't know
Sounds
nothing
like
about
him.
it, though. You were captured immediately upon entering the forest.
Yeah. Well, seems we're at a bit of an impasse here. Seems you want to know what we're doing here. We're stuck here.
You just told us what you were doing here.
Yeah. Well, we know more. Can tell you about what we've seen when we've been in the castle.
In the dungeon?
Yes. It's fine if you don't trust us. We'll just keep that information to ourselves then.
You know, this castle isn't right.
Yeah, obviously, that's why we want to leave.
The knights don't wear Magitech armor. The outside is decrepit. The inside is like walking into a museum. How long do you think you'll be here? Forever? Will you experience true eternity?
What do you mean?
Oh, when we leave you here, that is what will happen. Whatever curse is applied to this place will be just as applicable to you.
Are you trying to get them to do something? Sounds
Yes.
very intimidating.
I realize that he wants to be freed. Like, that's what he's trying to trade for more information.
Yeah.
But I'm just laying into that. Like, give me this information now and maybe I'll free you. Because you're not fully comprehending how bad the situation is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, give me a roll. I think it might even be forceful.
Yeah, I was gonna say 9.
Okay. Okay. 9? Right, fine. No. Just we'll tell you. Just please let us go. We don't want to be stuck here forever.
Understandable.
Screams downstairs. Sure you pass by that door down the hallway. He's doing something to someone down there. I don't know what.
The king? Quote unquote.
Yeah, he's the only one that's ever gone down there.
Interesting. Well, we'll investigate. I get it.
You said you'd let us go. Please, don't leave us here.
What do you think of this going, the screaming in the basement? None of the other cages are like cells or.
No, there are people in them. Yeah.
Oh.
This is just the first one. Yeah, you see other people.
Let's investigate the other cells before we deal with whatever this is. We'll be back.
Yeah.
I say over my shoulder.
No, let us out.
As you like step away to investigate other cells, I take my mask off and step up to the cell and lean in, so that make sure like they can see my face and like the torchlight. And I say, "You serve my father. I'll make sure you never leave this cell." And I step back and let my helmet go back on.
And I'm guessing that Karis and Quintus don't hear that.
I didn't necessarily make sure Karis didn't, but I let Quintus walk away before I.
Yeah.
Okay.
You come to a bunch of other cells. They just have like people in them. They just look like regular village people.
What was the village that we were at?
It's
the village people. They just start dancing.
Yeah. There's a Native American. There's a construction worker. There's a cop. It's a real big gay party in there.
You can leave us here. We're having a blast.
I can see that. No, what was the town that we came?
Derbyshire.
Derbyshire.
I like.
That would really got Johnny.
Are you from Derbyshire?
There's a woman who speaks up. Yes, yeah. That's us. We're from Derbyshire.
What did this king imprison you for?
He said we were coming to take it from him. Take the place from him.
Were you?
No. We've at least what happened to me. I walked into the forest to investigate. And I fell asleep and I woke up in here. And from what I've told, this is what everyone else has experienced as well. Please, are you here to save us?
Yes, we are.
Thank you.
Do you? Ma'am, sorry. Ma'am,
No.
do you by any chance have a husband, maybe a child back in Devonshire?
Yes. Did you meet him?
Was he the bartender?
Yes. Oh, thank God he sent someone to rescue us. Please, he tortures us here.
What does he do? I'm sorry. It's not to bring up trauma. Oh God, you don't need to answer that. Actually, He puts his head down and snaps back.
It is a somewhat important question.
Yeah, an answer would be helpful.
It could be for some sort of dark ritual. If
he barely feeds us just enough, and then he hurts us. Has his nights practice. And she kind of like lifts up like her shirt over her belly, and you can see like slashes and whatnot. But there's something even worse downstairs. The screams from there, bone chilling. And I think maybe at that point you hear a scream come from downstairs. And it is terrifying.
Yeah, I think even completely unconsciously, Quintus draws his hilt off of his belt. Wow, that's unearthly.
I think Gawain is suspicious of the timing of that scream. Like, we're in a creepy castle. They're talking about like legitimate. Like, I think Gawain would be like,
sure,
something about this feels too convenient. Like, it feels like the guy wants us to go down there.
Sure.
Could
also just be Justin hitting those right vibes.
Yeah,
hitting them vibes.
But yes, you can certainly do whatever you want. She continues. She says, "Yeah, that he hasn't brought any of us down there. Whatever's down there has been there. Please let us go."
He's down there now. Karis, can you open these cells?
Probably, yes. I mean,
all the ones with the villagers, not the ones with lotsmen.
God, we made a promise to them.
I didn't promise them anything, actually.
Mordred, do you think you can lead the people back?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see them all out of the castle before we investigate anything.
Okay, but I'm coming back. It sounds like you're going to need help.
If you can, if there's time.
Get back.
Yes. See the people safely to the village first.
Okay. All right.
They don't seem in a condition to move fast. Make sure they get there in good health.
All right. Fine.
They're not in a condition to move fast. Just kill them where they stand.
What? No.
What?
I can't.
No, he doesn't say that. Karis will begin doing his thing, his creepy little lockpicking thing. His eyes turn white.
How many cells are there?
Oh, there's just a couple. Maybe 4.
Okay.
No.
Couple to 3, you know.
Was there guards outside of the dungeon door?
There were, yes.
Yeah, so I think we do a little bit where we're like, I think one of the prisoners like swallowed his own tongue. You might need to come in here and investigate that.
I understand. Okay. I'm 1,000% gonna need a roll for that though.
Yeah. That's tactical.
Sure. Yeah.
I would have like Mordred like right behind the door, like
yeah. Bash him in.
It's 4.
That is a 4. Well, then I think that these 3 soldiers come in. Well, actually, let's say 4 soldiers. There are 4 soldiers that come in. Mordred knocks out one of them, and then the other 3 pull their swords and shout, "We've got intruders in the castle!" And things are a bit more hairy now. Well, what do you do?
It was gonna happen anyways. They had to leave this dungeon somehow. I mean, I kill them. I start swinging.
Yeah. Okay. I pull out my sword. I'm not expecting any mechanical benefit for this, but just for flavor, I think Gawain draws both of his swords, so he's kind of got a long sword in one hand and a katana in the other.
Give me a force. Give me a forceful roll then. Carries, I think you're still just unlocking cells, so I don't.
Yeah. I think he hears like muffled from the inside of one of the locks. He hears like a muffled voice from the guard.
I love that. Yeah.
But he's just focused on unlocking these cells.
Yeah, I love that.
I rolled an 11.
Okay.
I rolled a 9.
Okay. Give me damage.
Also, Justin, did you get my text?
Was it? Why am I bad at math? 11 again.
7 damage for me.
7 damage, and what was that? 11 damage. Certainly.
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming I'm only fighting one of them.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. So 11 damage.
Fight multiple people. Okay. Let me. That's fine. They do shout this, draw their swords, and start attacking you. Mordred, Quintus, and Gawain quickly dispatch the other 3. However, one of them gets a slash on Sir Quintus, and I would like for you to take 5 damage.
Oh man!
Yeah.
So you have like 1 left, right? Because you're at 0 armor until we're out of the forest.
No, I got HP from taking Sentinel, so I'm at 5 HP.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Okay. All right. You got some time. You got some time. Well, amazing. I said there were 4. Okay. You're on a timetable now. What do you do?
These 3.
Yeah.
I think the first thing that Gawain does is go to the one that Mordred knocked out, and I stab him, just dispatch him quickly, and then I turn and I go to whatever cell is next that Karis hasn't gotten to, and with my laser sword just cut through the lock. We don't have time for this anymore.
I'm not gonna make you roll. I think you've got a moment to unlock all the cages and can get all the people out.
Okay.
I think you've got. Is the plan still to send Mordred out with them?
Yeah, I was gonna say, at least in my head, I was gonna suggest that at least one of us, that it can be Gawain or more. But I think definitely Gawain should, or Quintus. I think you have some really good combat stuff too. But one of the 2 of us should try and help Mordred and the people get out, and once they're outside, come back.
Yeah, I think Quintus would go.
Okay, so just see them outside of the castle and then have them find their way back.
To be fair, the shouts were here, so if we get away from here fast enough, you guys will have to deal with most of what's going on, and we should hopefully be able to sneak out.
Okay.
Yeah. But we can. I'm assuming that the dungeons, or if they're set up like typical dungeons, we can bottleneck, and I can take them down one at a time while we wait for you to come back.
If I Quintus and Gowan, if I may ask, if I go with them, I might be able to be of some extra help if they come across any more guards.
Like you want to travel the road with them back to town?
Oh no, not back to town with them. See them out of the castle.
Instead of Quintus or I? Instead of Quintus?
Yes.
I'm sure you can handle it, Sakaris.
Yes. I mean, what? We have a bottleneck here. Most of them are on the way, but there's a bottleneck. Why don't both of you go?
All right.
You will be all right in the defense.
I shall be fine.
I suppose so. So yeah, we'll with him.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh wow. Okay. All right. So Mordred, Carius, Quintus, and all the villagers are going out of the castle, going to staying here.
Yes.
In the dungeon. Okay.
Yep.
Perfect.
It's not like you said that Mordred is carrying Quintus. Mordred carries Quintus.
And the implication is that all the guards will come to this dungeon, allowing you all a moment to escape. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. All right. We'll say that you guys get through the castle and get out. You don't see any guards stopping you. You get out of the castle. Sir Gawain, a moment happens before you hear the footsteps of 6 soldiers running down the hallway. And they see you. They see the like dungeon doors open and just go, "Hey, what are you?" And they just draw their swords and charge at you.
Cool. I'm assuming that as we've talked about, like kind of bottleneck, I'm just going to let them come through the door one at a time and try and cut them down.
Okay, let's see what happens. The luck has got to run out and the damage has to be taken at some point.
Yeah. Not yet though. That's a 10.
Okay, I'm not even gonna make you roll damage.
I mean, it's a minimum of 5 as long as there's only one of them at a time. So
why I'm not gonna make you roll damage because they have less HP than 5. Give me another roll.
That's a 9.
Okay. On a 9 though, I think I will do damage back to you, as that's the complication. So that is 5 damage.
5. That's
5.
That's a minor complication level of damage.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Well, you know what? All right, fine. I'll take it back. Don't take the 5 damage.
Oh.
I will say that the complication is that you kill this one, so there are still 4 left. And the next one, they kind of all work together a little bit, even though they're kind of bottlenecked to like push you back.
Okay.
And they shut the door.
Okay.
They shut the door and hold it there.
Okay. So they're on the other side of the door and I'm stuck inside. Okay.
Correct.
How many men are in the cage, like the cage of lots men?
They're two knights.
2?
Yep.
If I release you, will you fight for me?
Of course. We'll fight to get out of here.
Very well. And I slice the lock to their cell.
Love it. Yep. They get armored up. What's the plan?
They're trying to guard that door. We burst our way through. They don't have power armor. They can't do half of what we can.
Fine. So your goal is to just like kick the door down with the help of them?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a roll.
It's a 7.
Okay. Cool.
Should have added my word.
I think that with the 3 of you, you kick this door and it knocks them back a little bit. Then they come back and kind of gang up on one of Lot's men and kill him.
Okay.
So that is the complication, is you've lost. There are 4 of them and 2 of you.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we just keep pushing. I'm not letting up as long as until I'm in it.
We're trying to get back as fast as possible.
Yeah, of course.
I'm gonna roll with a war dice this time.
Okay.
So how do I do it with the war dice? Do I just take the 2 highest, or do I?
No, add it all together.
Yeah,
add it all together. Okay, so that's a 14.
Okay. On a 14, yeah, I mean, I'll say that with the help of this other soldier, you easily dispatch 2 more of them. There are only 2 left. I think it's at this point that Mordred and Carries and Quintus come back, and the what is it? The 5 of you now very quickly dispatch these last 2. And there's a moment that you can collect yourself and decide on what you want to do next. And as that quiet, you hear another scream coming from down below.
I grab the shoulder of Lot's man.
Yeah.
And I say, remember the courtesy that we've shown you here. Go back to Lot and encourage him to keep the peace.
I'll try. I'll try. Thank you.
I don't say anything else.
Yeah. He leads. He runs.
Mm-hmm.
This round again, I'm going to cut your head off.
What was that, motherfucker? Say it in my face.
Come on, little bitch. Let's go. This sword is twice the size of your body. Oh man, I really
we should probably investigate that, shouldn't we?
We should. I wish I could take the time to have him heal. That blow really hurt, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, they've all said that woman's been screaming for weeks. Doesn't seem like she's going to go anywhere. I'm kidding. Let's just have a meal while she screams.
Little ambiance,
You make your way to that door. It is locked, but you've got Sir Carries who can easily unlock it.
Once he unlocks it. That's canon now. That's the sound he makes whenever he's unlocking a door.
The door opens
full
to
helling color every time he touches a lock.
No.
So he's talking with his hips?
No. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. You open the door to a stone spiral staircase that goes down even further. The air is musty, and like as you look down into the darkness, there's just this uneasy feeling.
Well done, Sakaris.
Are we all feeling that uneasy feeling as we look down?
It is definitely present.
Yes.
Well, only one way to go. And Gwen will take a step down, start heading down the stairs.
And I think we gotta end it there. I think we gotta end it there.
It's very funny because everyone knows we're recording all of these together, so we don't have to wait for the resolution. But I do feel bad for the audience because
what is down there?
I know I want.
What's down there?
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box? Sorry,
please, sir. Tell me what
Arthurian 7.
How we 2 episodes now. How you guys feel about Fist?
I'm loving
it.
I'm having so much fun.
Yeah.
I'm loving it.
I think it took a hot minute for all of us to start vibing with it, but now that we are,
Yep,
it's like
Yeah. I was telling Nick in between episodes, I was like, I've spent a decade studying like religion and philosophy. So like a lot of that was ethics. And so like I'm vibing so much with the virtue and the vice and the like moral obstacles and oh, it's a blast. It's very fun.
It's funny. The game is PBTA, but this is the fact that there's a vice, and when we roll, we kind of choose which attribute we're using. There's like loose like Forge in the Dark aspects of it.
Yeah, a little bit. It's like PBTB or PBTB Forged by the Dark.
FITA.
PBTB FIDTA.
FITDPBD.
Apocalypse in the Dark.
What? Speaking of terrible acronyms, so I work for PayPal, and
PayPal
we have PayPal's not an acronym, but so one of the products that we own is Braintree, and I technically work for the company Braintree, that product, that side of PayPal. But there's a special account you can sign up for. So normally it's just Braintree, but we have a special account called PayPal powered by Braintree. And for whatever goddamn reason, we decided to abbreviate that to PPPPPT.
No.
PPP. PayPal powered by Braintree. PPPBBT.
PPPBBT. PPPBBT. No.
It's very fun to say, but it's also so annoying.
Branding is hard.
There's that. Don't sign up if you're looking to process payments. Please don't sign up for a PPPBBT account. Just
PayPal. It's a little easier to say.
Just PP.
So funny.
All right.
Anyway.
Well, on that note, we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.